how to develop your business culture step by step. Kevin Ware, your action business coach. And I would really encourage you, if you want twice a week content that helps you be a better business owner, go ahead and click below and subscribe so that you are the first person who can get these notifications so that you can become a better business owner. Let's jump into the topic for today. So we're going to talk about how do you develop a business culture in your business step by step. Now, for reference, if you haven't done so, I've got a link up here in the corner that talks about a video that I just did a few days ago on why it is important to have a business culture. So now that we know why it's important to have a business culture, let's go into the how-tos of actually making that business culture happen. So first thing we want to do as a business owner is you need to identify 3 values that are vital to you as the owner. If you own a business, there are certain values that are critically important for you. And you need to identify that because, as we talked about in the previous video, it's important to define the culture that you want as the owner. So the things we have to ask ourselves is, what are those things that are vital to me as a business owner? Perhaps it's integrity. Maybe you really value people living in a very integral fashion. Maybe your value is creativity. That's something that's very vitally important to you. Perhaps it's honesty. Whatever that speaks to you, that's a vital core. The second thing you need to do is you need to identify 3 values that are vital to your business succeeding. So let's say that you are a very engineering-oriented business. What would basically be a culture that would require that? Probably be accuracy. Maybe it's precision. If you are an entertainment company, maybe a value to make the business succeeding is creativity. Maybe it is outside the box production. Whatever that looks like to you for your business to succeed. Now, the third step in creating your business culture is you need to identify 3 values that are core to your customers. Now, do you know that this is the core that every customer wants? No. But if you've got a decent relationship with your customers, you probably have a pretty good idea of what kind of culture that they're looking for from your business. So perhaps it's friendliness. Perhaps it is cooperation. Perhaps it is openness. Whatever you feel that the customers are going to want that value from your company, go ahead and write those down. Now, the fourth thing is we need to identify 3 values that are important to your team. What is it that makes your team want to work there? Perhaps it's communication. There's really great communication in the company. Perhaps there's effective teamwork. Perhaps there is a sense of accountability within the team. What is it that would make that team succeed? 4 things you need to look at. 3 values that are important to you as an owner. 3 values that are important to you in getting the business succeeding. 3 values that are core to your customers. And 3 values that are important for your team to succeed. Now, that's 12 values. So once you have those 12 values, now you need to flesh out and find out what the top 5, 6, 7, maybe up to 10 values that would be important to you. Now, the number not as important as the importance of these values. So a good idea is that you select the 12 and then you go through and said, okay, does that have a serious priority? Start ordering them in the order of what you feel is important of the 12. And then once you get to 12, then said, okay, could I live with, say, 9? And I want to focus on those 9. Maybe you focus in on 5 or 4 or whatever. So it has to be a rank order and then a discussion of what do we want to do? Do we want to have more values that creates a wider path, or do we want to have fewer values that gets right to the most core elements of what you want as far as culture in your business? Guess what? There are no right answers. I'll give you an illustration of this. Action Coach actually has 14 values. And that's important to Action Coach because we have a wide swath and a wide variety of people we work with, so we need the 14 cultures. You may be comfortable with 4 or 5. That's what's important to you. Now, once you get the number of defined cultures that you want in that culture, you need to define each culture point. So now let's say that integrity is one of your culture points. You need to define what that is, because remember, the definition of integrity may be one thing to one person and another thing to another person. You just can't go to the dictionary and says, okay, what does integrity mean in the dictionary and call it good? No, it has to be what it means to you. Also remember, you can rename each and every one of these culture points. So for example, let's say instead of naming it integrity, you could name it, tell the truth. Whatever that looks like. So you can basically go down and drill it down to make it personal for you and your team. So once you've got that in place, the next step in developing your business culture step by step is to put together a rollout plan. Now we need to start doing okay, how will we get this to the team? If you are a team of you and 2 other employees, that's pretty easy. If it's a team of 100, that's a lot more difficult. So what's the game plan to go out and roll this out to the team? Are you going to have a team meeting and discuss what this all means? Perhaps you've already had a group of employees that have actually been interacting as part of this process of creating the identity, and they go out and spread to the team. Probably may work best is that you have a gathering of your entire team where you as the business owner roll them out. You basically tell the team, this is the new culture and the values that we're going to live by as a team. Make sure everybody has a copy of it. They sign for the copy. They know that you have it. And you can make it a big celebration. Make it a huge defining point in the history of your business. Because it really is. If you haven't had a culture before, and now you do have a culture, guess what? It's a definition, it's an inflection point within your business, and it needs to be celebrated. So make a big deal of it. Finally, and probably the most important part of this is have an ongoing process to use the culture on an everyday basis. You see, the problem with so many businesses is that you do a culture, you throw it up on the wall, and it's been forgotten. And it's just basically words that are decorative on a wall that mean nothing. So how are we going to use this on an ongoing basis? Are we going to basically talk about a culture point at weekly meetings? Are we going to have a culture point of the day that gets defined with everybody else? Are we going to have each month has a theme for a particular culture point? Or let's say that you have an employee evaluation. Part of the employee evaluation is how well does each employee employ the culture within the business. And it's part of their formal assessment. You use it as a guideline for hiring. You use this as one of the things our value points is this. Give me an example of when you've done that in a previous job. So there's multiple uses for a culture statement, but you actually have to use them and not just let it gather dust. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what you can do with culture. Now, if you need some help and said, Kevin, this is a great step-by-step process, but I need more than just this video, I want you to click below in the comment section, write culture, and we're going to get you a how-to, a step-by-step process of how you can identify a whole list of culture words. You write them down, you follow that pattern, and start rolling them out. If you need some more videos to ask yourself, Kevin, there's a lot of other things I need to know about business, go ahead and check these videos out up here. They've got great information on how you can be a better business owner. I want you to go out there, develop your culture, implement it into your business, make your business great.